If you live in Canada or you're thinking about moving there, you already know the reputation. You're likely picturing waist-deep snow, scraping ice off a windshield at 6 a.m. in minus 30-degree weather, or perhaps those surprisingly humid, buggy summers in the east that make you want to stay near the AC all day. But if you're tired of the extremes, tired of hiding indoors for 4 months of winter and then hiding again from the humidity in July, you aren't alone. A lot of people are quietly looking for the same thing, a place where the weather just feels comfortable year-round. For this list, I've analyzed Canadian climate data to find the cities where everyday life actually happens outside most days of the year. I didn't just look for the warmest places, I filtered for balance. To make this list, a city had to avoid the brutal, life-shutting-down winters of the prairies, but also avoid the punishing humidity or extreme heat found in parts of the interior.
The goal here is simple. Places where you can comfortably run errands, walk the dog, and live your normal routine without the weather controlling your schedule. You'll see some famous coastal hubs, but also some smaller, more affordable spots that might surprise you. Just like the most comfortable cities in the US, none of these are perfect. Every location has trade-offs, but each one offers something rare in the Great White North, a climate that stays livable without forcing you indoors for an entire season. Number 10. Windsor, Ontario. Now, Windsor is unique because it's the southernmost city in Canada. It actually sits on the same latitude as Northern California. Because of its southern position, Windsor enjoys some of the longest and warmest summers in the country. If you're someone who hates the long gray of a Canadian spring, Windsor is often the first place to see flowers blooming. The winters here are significantly shorter and milder than what you'll find in Toronto or Ottawa. You'll get snow, but it rarely lingers for months on end, and the deep freezes that define the Canadian experience are much less frequent here. The trade-off, much like Chattanooga or Greenville in the US, is the humidity. Midsummer afternoons in Windsor can feel heavy. It's a muggy heat rather than a dry heat. However, many residents find the trade-off worth it because the shoulder seasons, spring and fall, are incredibly long and pleasant. It's a place where you can actually enjoy a patio in late October, which is a rare luxury in most of Canada. At number 9 is Halifax. What makes Halifax interesting is the Atlantic buffer. Being right on the ocean helps soften the edges of both summer and winter. In the summer, you rarely see the scorching 35-degree days that plague the interior of the country. Instead, you get these crisp, salty breezes that keep the afternoons in the low 20s. It's the kind of weather where you can be active all day without feeling exhausted by the heat. Winter in Halifax is a bit of a mixed bag, but it avoids the deep freeze. Because of the salt air and ocean proximity, it's much warmer than the mainland, though you do have to deal with more wind and slush than dry snow. It's a usable winter. You might need a good raincoat and a windbreaker, but you aren't going to be locked inside by a polar vortex for weeks at a time. The lifestyle here is very outdoor-oriented, from the boardwalk to the nearby trails, and the climate supports that for a surprisingly large chunk of the year.
Moving west to the interior of BC, we find Penticton. This city sits between two lakes, Okanagan and Skaha, and that geography matters immensely. Penticton offers a very different kind of comfort. It's dry. If you're someone who finds humidity draining, this is your spot. The summers are warm, often reaching the high 20s or 30s, but because the air is dry, it doesn't feel punishing. Like Albuquerque or Prescott, the heat doesn't linger overnight. The desert-like environment means evenings cool down rapidly, allowing for comfortable walks and better sleep. The winters here are remarkably mild for the interior. Penticton is shielded by mountains, which helps block the coldest Arctic air. You get a real version of all 4 seasons, but each one is tempered. You'll see a bit of snow, you'll see plenty of sun, and you'll find a community where the local fruit stands and outdoor markets stay a central part of life for most of the year.
Number 7. Kelowna, British Columbia.
Just up the road is Kelowna. It shares many of Penticton's benefits, but with a slightly more robust infrastructure. What separates Kelowna from many other Canadian towns is consistency. The summers are reliably sunny. It's one of the sunniest places in Canada, but the lake effect helps keep the air from feeling stagnant. You experience a true spring and a true fall, where the transitions last for weeks rather than disappearing between extremes. The winter is the real surprise here. While the rest of Canada is shoveling, Kelowna often sits under a valley cloud that keeps temperatures hovering just around freezing. It's not warm, but it's manageable. You can still be outside in January with a decent jacket without feeling like the air is hurting your face. It's a balanced climate that encourages an active and health-focused lifestyle year-round. At number 6, we head to Vancouver Island. The Comox Valley is where the coastal temperate climate really starts to shine. In Courtenay, the elevation and the ocean work together to keep things cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Average summer highs sit in the low 20s. You'll never find yourself planning your entire day around air conditioning here. The air is fresh, and the day feels usable from sunrise to sunset. Winter is where the island really wins. It's wet, yes, but it's rarely cold in the Canadian sense. You'll see more rain than snow, which means the roads stay clear and routines continue normally. For people who want to avoid the winter shutdown, this area offers a lifestyle where you can golf or hike in February, provided you don't mind a bit of mist. It's a restrained winter that allows life to move outdoors much earlier than in the rest of the country. Staying on the island, Nanaimo takes the number 5 spot. Nanaimo is often overlooked, but its climate is incredibly stable. Like Eugene, Oregon, Nanaimo has a climate shaped by the Pacific. The summers are comfortable rather than intense. You get these long, bright afternoons where the temperature stays in the low 20s, perfect for the harborfront walks and biking that the city is known for. Because the temperature stays steady, your routine stays steady too. The trade-off here is the gray season. From November through March, you will see a lot of clouds and light rain. However, compared to the -20-degree winds and sudden blizzards common in the east or the prairies, many people gladly make that exchange for a winter where the grass stays green. It's a predictable, gentle climate that doesn't demand much from you in terms of survival gear. At number 4 is Abbotsford in Fraser Valley. This is a bit of a sweet spot for those who want to be near Vancouver but want a slightly different weather profile. Being slightly tucked away from the immediate coast, Abbotsford gets a bit more real summer heat than Vancouver, but it avoids the crushing humidity of Ontario. It feels like a true 4-season climate, just moved up about 10 degrees in favor of warmth. The winter is mild, with temperatures commonly reaching 5 to 8 degrees in the afternoons. While it gets its fair share of rain, it's often just far enough inland to avoid the heaviest coastal fog while staying warm enough that snow remains a novelty rather than a chore. It's a place where everyday routines like outdoor markets and walking trails don't have to pause for the weather very often. Number 3 is Vancouver. For decades, this has been the gold standard for comfortable Canadian weather, and for good reason. The reason Vancouver stands out is balance. Summer afternoons usually sit in the low 20s, cooled by the Pacific, and evenings stay mild enough for outdoor dinners or walks along the seawall without needing to escape indoors. It's a city where life naturally moves outdoors. The parks are full year-round, and the good season feels like it lasts from April through October. Winter is famously mild. Freezing conditions are the exception, not the rule. You aren't hiding from the cold, you're just living your life under an umbrella. The main hurdle, of course, isn't the weather, it's the cost. Like Santa Barbara or San Luis Obispo, you are paying a sunshine tax, or in this case, a mildness tax, to live here. But for many, the ability to go for a run in January without 4 layers of clothing is worth every penny.
Coming in at number 2 is White Rock. Now, you might wonder why a small city just south of Vancouver ranks higher than Vancouver itself. The answer is the rain shadow. White Rock is famously known as the hole in the clouds. Because of its unique position on Semiahmoo Bay, it actually receives significantly more sunshine and less rain than Vancouver or the surrounding North Shore Mountains. It takes that mild coastal climate and adds a layer of brightness to it. The summers are near perfect, mild breezes, steady sun, and temperatures that stay in the mid-20s. The winters are slightly drier than its neighbors to the north, meaning those gray days are broken up by sunshine more frequently. It's a place where the climate and the lifestyle genuinely line up as advertised. You're not waiting for summer to enjoy the beach. The waterfront is a usable part of daily life for the vast majority of the year.
At number 1 is Victoria, British Columbia. This is the place the entire list has been pointing toward. Victoria is without a doubt the most comfortable climate in Canada. The city sits in a perfect geographical sweet spot on the southern tip of Vancouver Island. It's protected by the Olympic Mountains to the south, creating a rain shadow that makes it the driest city on the BC coast. Summer afternoons are remarkably steady, usually landing in the low 20s with a light ocean breeze. You're not hiding from the heat, and you're certainly not enduring a long winter just to get to spring. Winter here feels more like a cool, damp spring in other parts of the world. Daytime temperatures in January often reach 7 or 8 degrees. Snow is so rare that when it does happen, it's a citywide event that usually melts by noon. Because of this, life in Victoria is fundamentally different from life in the rest of Canada. You see people gardening in February. You see outdoor cafes and year-round biking. It doesn't feel like you're waiting for the good season. The good season is almost every day. Like Santa Barbara in the US, Victoria is the one place in the country where the weather rarely, if ever, controls your day. You simply go outside and do what you planned. Finding a comfortable climate in Canada is mostly about trade-offs. You can have the warmth of Windsor if you can handle the humidity. You can have the mild winters of Vancouver if you can handle the gray skies. The cities on this list stand out because they reduce the extremes that make so much of the North American continent difficult to live in. No place is perfect, and the right choice really depends on what matters most to you, whether it's sunshine, dryness, or just never having to shovel a driveway again. I'm curious, which of these Canadian spots surprised you the most? Or is there a hidden gem with perfect weather that I missed? Let me know in the comments. I try to read every one, and your feedback helps me decide which regions to dive into next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.